Chelsea Wynn, and this is the Ironic Pod, where two complete strangers wound up being purpose mates, business partners, and best friends in the matter of months.
We like to have real life conversations about our healing journey and how we fell into alignment with our purpose.
Oh! Sorry. Period. We did that one. That was a fresh flow. Like it wasn't like a hold on.
That was nice.
That was good. Yes, and that was. Yeah,
she gonna give me the shot of the pat.
I'm gonna get my pat. You gonna give me my flowers, baby? Shoot,
bro, we made it.
Yeah.
Say it again. You remember Lion King? And he was like, Mufasa, ooh, say it again.
No, I haven't seen Lion King in like. People, why do people always ask me about movies? I don't know. I don't watch movies. I don't like movies. I don't know nothing about no movies. I can't help you.
Sorry. Anyway, it's okay. One of the hyenas was like, ooh, Mufasa, say it again. Ooh, ooh. So I was like, we made it.
Oh my gosh, like that clip we have, and you're like, ooh. I'm hopping everywhere. I always be cackling.
That's a ooh.
I cackle a lot. You cackle a lot. We cackle a lot together.
There's some
cackling motherfuckers. It makes life fun. It makes life interesting.
People take life too seriously.
I know that's right. And some people take life not serious enough.
And people neglect how deep life is.
Ooh, we starting off deep, ain't we? Shoot.
That's just who we are.
We deep. Who are you?
Before that, we made it.
We did. Oh my gosh. It's only been like 3 weeks, but it feels like 3 years.
It feels like 10 years.
You're right.
She said, who am I?
Yeah, who are you?
I'm a woman of God.
What's your name?
My name's Nika Convos.
I had to hear it again.
A woman of God.
A
published author. Life coach. Mentor. Influencer. Entrepreneur, technically. Because we got that LLC.
Period. Period.
A family person. Someone who just likes supporting the people.
Snap. That's our best friend. She don't know it yet. We're best friends. She's treading lightly. Apparently, she hasn't really got the memo.
I'm traumatized, so I'm just trying to work it through.
We'll work it out.
There we go.
Anyways, I'm Chelsea. I am exactly who she is. So there's really no need to do it again. Besides the fact I'm a mother to an amazing little boy. He's 6. I almost forgot his age for a second. He's 6 years old. Holy shit. I had a child 6 years ago. We getting old. I'm gonna be 30
before me. No, just kidding. I'm kidding.
You had to make sure they put that in there.
It's like by a month and 4 days. Like,
oh, you know,
barely. I do.
Wow, I told you. Best friends.
Friends.
Y'all will hear. Watch the way she be speaking about me, or she be like, "Oh, I was thinking about this. I went on a trip for like a day and a half, and I got back. She was like, I missed you." Ooh.
I don't think the words actually came out of my mouth, but I was checking her location. And I was making sure she was making good progress. She wasn't stuck in no ditches or nothing. I could see it on her little dot, like she was my little sim or something.
And what was you doing that weekend that I was gone? Tell the people. My business. Sleep. She was miserable without me. She was sitting there like, where's my best friend?
No.
Period. I was feeling it too. I really thought that was true for a second. I mean, I started to believe it.
I mean, believe it. You can believe it. People believe in Santa Claus. But I digress. Anyway, we literally just met like in November.
Yes.
Of 2022.
Yes.
It is March 2023.
How many months is that?
We only 3 months into the new year.
I was all the way up to 5, baby.
I don't know what I was. You were counting from November. I was counting from this year.
Okay.
And when I tell you, like, the way our lives have literally changed.
Yeah.
How our path, like, when our paths crossed, immediately changed.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into that real quick.
Let's go.
So, basically, y'all know how, like, you get gym memberships, and sometimes you don't see the gym until, like, maybe a year after you get the membership.
If ever.
Well, we had an ever. And, basically, like, I noticed her in the gym before, because I thought she was someone from my school.
Just thought it was cute.
I thought she was a friend of my old roommate in my school. And I realized it wasn't her. Didn't think nothing of it. And then, like, a couple weeks later, well, Let me go on and plug in that she a whole like TikTok celebrity.
Chill out. She asked me to sign her gym
What is
bag.
it? 48.8K
No.
followers.
47.9.
I rounded.
9.
Anything over 5, what did we learn? We round up.
True.
So she's basically got 50K followers.
Period. We're claiming it.
She got 50K followers. And so she popped up on my For You page. Now, I'm an Instagram girly. I don't really be on TikTok like
Boo.
that.
Tomatoes.
Anyway, so when I went on my little For You page and I saw her, I was like, oh, she looks, or that's the girl from my gym. Now, I didn't have the time to even, like, I reacted in the comments. I was like, yo, you go to my gym. I never talked to you because, you know, social anxiety. Because everybody knows you look a little meaner in the gym with the headphones. And you're in your zone. Like, so do you. Like, she did not look approachable in the gym.
No way. I didn't look approachable?
No.
I'm the most approachable person ever.
No, because early in the morning you are focused because you know you got to go get dressed and all that stuff. So
I feel you.
I feel it. Tunnel vision.
Mm-hmm.
So I left that comment. She's like, oh, you're the girl that be talking to my gym crush.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah.
Okay, when she says gym crush now, we're going to have to define that a little bit because I wasn't thirsty for no men in the gym.
No.
Actually, I didn't even pay no attention to no men in the gym. But this was my gym crush, as in he was working on himself. You know, he was there every single morning. Chad's there every single morning.
Every day.
Every single day. Consistency. We love to see it. But yeah, he's like this little white boy, and I was like, oh, he's cute. You know, like he's like attractive, I suppose, for a friendly type of gal.
And she assumed that we were together.
I didn't assume, but you know, you'd be making up stories about people. I make up stories about people. Does that make me crazy?
No.
Okay, because I knew your whole life. I didn't know you.
It was
incorrect. It was incorrect.
Mad incorrect.
But I was like, man, I wonder if they're together because he would talk to you a lot. You guys were always talking, but not in like a flirty type of way. So I'm like, I wonder what their story is. Are they just friends? Whatever. And so when she said that, I was like, you the one. I know you. I remember your face because you was talking to my gym crush a little too closely now. And now we're all friends. Chad's my best friend too.
Yeah. Now it's like, nah, he the homie. Let's get that straight.
Yeah.
He the homie.
He the homie. You did correct me pretty quickly.
Well,
at first you didn't even know
y'all
what I was
gonna
talking
find
about.
it probably. So let's go on. Who can get the comment the fastest?
Right. Because I did say something.
Right.
That's funny.
But literally since then, communication been crazy. And like what you'll learn and what we're continuously learning is the fact that when you connect spiritually, because we did just define ourselves as women of God, like you kind of start in reverse of what we're taught.
Yeah.
So when you learn someone at the spirit level, then you're kind of, we're finding ourselves like over here, like, wait, when did you experience that? Like, you never told me that. But because we already have an understanding beneath the surface. So it's it's different. It's really different. So we're literally in an alignment where, like, literally, I say literally a lot.
It's literal.
Literally. We got the word for this podcast, February 28th.
Yeah.
March 1st.
Rewind. We started messaging on Instagram, and we was actually having real good conversations for a little while. And then I forget how it even happened. Oh, you walked into the locker room, and that was really
I walked into the locker room the day that I was leaving for 3 weeks. So it's like we even went through our own isolation phase. We're like, and who can be deep in text messages? I feel like that has like a lot of our conversations are conversations people need to have in person. For sure. That did not happen.
Oh, we was writing paragraphs.
And we're both writers, so it's like literally like book after book. Yeah. And when I say like I ain't never had a friend that reads the beginning, the middle, and the end of my paragraph and respond to each one.
Yep. Ooh. She just said I'm a great friend. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Anyways, we was having deep conversations, and then we still wasn't talking in person for a little while. After you came back from your mom's.
That was probably like a week or two.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's when Chad was like spitting in the trash can. Yeah. I didn't talk to anybody in the gym either. I was very isolated, and it was very much like I didn't even care about nobody.
Plus, everybody's so focused when it's like freaking before the sun's even up.
Yeah, we go to the gym really early.
Really early.
What time do you get to the gym? She's been trying to go earlier. She'd be like...
so when we sprung forward, I'm still going at the same time I originally was going, so I'm later.
Yeah.
But because we are all a chatty bunch, I had to rearrange my schedule. So I was like, Okay, if I get my workout out in the first hour, then when they come in, I can talk.
That's true.
So it's discipline because we are all there to better ourselves.
For sure.
So we can't distract ourselves.
For sure.
Yeah.
We get there. I get there at like 5:30, and they both, her and the other guy that we talked to there, they both started talking about coming earlier, and I was like, "What the hell is earlier? What's earlier than 5 o'clock?
Nighttime.
You want me to get up and brush my teeth on TikTok at 3 a.m.? Jail. I'm not doing that.
You did do that.
No, I didn't.
A couple times.
Child, the only time I do that is
when... at 3 in the morning.
What?
You be texting me at 3 in the morning.
I do not text her at 3 a.m.
Run the tape.
You gonna lie to the people?
I got the receipts. I'll stand on it.
I don't text nobody at 3 a.m.
Okay.
I don't even see nobody at 3 a.m. except my eyelids.
Anyway, the point of the matter is the conversation literally flowed so much that we knew that there was going to be another project or a project of some sort between us. Ironically, we realized that a lot of people were coming to us talking about how we individually had to have a podcast.
Yes.
Because of how we present ourselves, because of the gems we be dropping, all that stuff.
Say gems.
So I think we played back in January, which was literally only 2 months ago. We were playing with the idea of a podcast, but let's get into this really quick. Yep. We were playing with the idea of a podcast, but because of insecurities that we had within ourselves, we kind of misunderstood the conversation. Yeah. So we're both in a season of obedience, which means that we don't move unless God tells us.
Ain't doing nothing.
I need confirmation through and through.
Clear. You
ain't about to say that I came up with that conclusion by myself.
Yeah.
It has to be, and that's my prayer all the time. And I understand not everybody's on that tip, but I'll be like, yo, make this woman what it needs to be.
Yep.
And make it undoubtedly you. Every sign I ask for, I can't be like, is that a sign? It has to be like, oh,
this is it. There's
my
doubt.
cue.
For sure.
It's not even a sign anymore. It's like, there's my cue to move.
Yeah.
Right?
Green light.
So we didn't have the green light. We were in the yellow.
For sure. That was not on red. We was definitely in the yellow.
We were in the yellow.
And we feel like something.
We understood that there was an assignment there. We just need that go.
Yeah.
Give me the green
yeah.
Ooh. Give me this one. But we needed that green light. So I remember I brought it up in the season that she was in, which we'll get into soon. The way she perceived it was, I'm not good enough, right? Is that what you perceived it? That's what you told me. You said, I want to learn myself enough before I get into a partnership business-wise.
For sure.
Yeah, I won't talk for you.
But when I said that, I have a lot on the line, too, when it comes to, I was already in my own season, doing my own thing, trying to figure my own self out. So it was both ways. Like, I didn't know if I could be the type of business partner, for somebody else. And I didn't know what I needed out of a partner for me to even allow that into my space. You know what I'm saying? But it was definitely a yellow light because I felt something. I'm like, when you even brought it up or we even came about that idea, I'm like, there's definitely something there. But like I said, I feel like at that time when I was talking to God about it, praying about it, whatever, I felt like it was more of like a hold on, like be patient. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second. I was so focused on working what I was working on. And so I just kind of waited. I sat cute. And I just waited for it to happen, to unfold, to reveal itself.
Right. So basically when she voiced that to me in the first initial conversation, I took that, my insecurities that I'm working on, took that as rejection. Right? So let's dig a little deeper there.
Yeah.
I took it as rejection, which it wasn't. It was just a redirection.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was literally just like, hold on, stay still. Let's develop this relationship a little bit more. But when I internalized that, I created a narrative in my head, and I'm sure you created a narrative in your head. And when I tell you the way we communicate, like I've never communicated with anyone else in that aspect.
You heard that again. That was
Here
two.
we
I'm
go.
about to tally these.
Oh, you're bringing the tallies back.
All the way, or all the times she exposes her true love for me. We're already at we about at 2.5.
She's gonna start rounding.
Did you say round up?
Anything over 5.
That's
we
50.
Round up.
50,000.
But basically, like, it made me feel inadequate in that sense. And so we were both feeling the same thing because as you're going to learn us, you're going to see that we are neck and neck on the same journey, same path, same truths.
Yeah.
It's just shown up in different ways sometimes. Not very many times. But
yeah. Almost identical. It's scary.
Literally.
Yeah.
But there was something I wanted to go there, and I'll come back to it when I want to.
When I feel like
when it presents itself. But basically, I just want to say, like, any insecurities that you face, you gotta. Oh, that's what it was. Here we go. See, I'm getting better at this.
Yeah.
So anytime you're going to be progressing, is what I've learned during my walk. Anytime you're progressing, there's going to be something that tries to discourage you.
Always.
So I'm walking towards a season where I don't see myself in front of the camera. I'm always behind the camera.
Behind the scenes.
Right? I'm always behind the scene. I'm always the one helping the main act. Right?
Yeah.
So when I'm progressing into who I'm actually called to be, which is the person in front of the camera apparently right now in this season, I realized that discouragement was trying to keep me from even seeing this thing to fruition.
Yeah.
I could have let that hurt in that moment, be like, yo, like, she's not really fooling me like that. I'm going to just not even bring it back ever again.
Yeah. Do you think, just a random question, do you think that stemmed from at all, like, obviously it had to do a lot with your insecurities, but do you think that stemmed from, or no, because you didn't even know my amount of followers or anything to begin with, right? I was just curious because I was curious to know if you had known all my followers, like, would that steer you in a different direction? Like, hold on, she already is building a platform.
I did know you had a platform because you popped up on For You page. So, like, I knew that much, like, she's taking content creating seriously. I'm not even at that level. Yeah. You know, so I had that. I didn't know the number. Yeah. But I knew you had a following. I knew you because I was in the comments myself. You know, like, I knew that. And that was, my concern wasn't so much like, oh, she's already doing her own thing. My concern was, I don't want her to think that I'm trying to jock her shine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I feel like too many people are used to a culture of people, like, sneak this but trying to, like, reap the benefits of keeping you around. And me coming out of a season of isolation myself, like, I didn't want to be perceived as that. Yeah. Because my intentions are pure when it comes to other people. Because I've healed myself. Because I've learned myself. I can fill my own cup so I can fill other people's cup. Yeah. So I didn't care about the number, but I knew, like, she's doing her own thing. I don't want to look like I'm a fan who's, like, trying to be like, ooh, she's doing her thing. Let me get on this train. Right. You know? So that's kind of where I was coming from with that. Which is crazy because
when she met me, I had just really dove into content creating. I mean, I had been on the platform for a little while, but as far as, like, seeing viral videos and seeing all these things, especially, like, all the brand deals and seeing, you know, even my book started selling and I was, like, really gaining momentum. I had just started walking into that. So it was like, a fan? What the hell is a fan? You know, like, I didn't even think about any of that. And people would come up to me, like, I've had a couple people come up to me at the gym and been like, oh, I see you on TikTok. I see you on TikTok. And I'm like, oh, me? Like, okay. Like, it was still so new to me, but I could see how that would be kind of like, not even really intimidation, but just kind of like, hold on. Yeah. I don't want to make my intentions pure. Yeah. But,
yeah, pretty much that. But the whole thing with the podcast even coming to be, we were in just a daily conversation that we normally have. And I'm like, hey, by the way, because God had already revealed it to me in this moment. I was like, by the way, today's significant. And she was like, for you, for me, I mean, I already know it's significant for me because I quit my job today.
It was my last day of work.
It was your last day of work. And I was like, no, for us. And like, we gonna get into my journey down the line or whatever, but I learned you document. So I have a folder of screenshots of you can literally see how ironic came to even fruition. With the timestamp, everything. We'll put that in the links or somewhere. Yeah. But so I started documenting that because I was like, ooh, I need to mark this day. And literally, I'm over here like, yo, I can't wait till God reveals it to you because we don't move without confirmation. That's right. So we were waiting.
And it was crazy too because when we had been learning each other so much so quickly, and like I trusted her in faith, like I trusted her spirituality, you know, or like her relationship with God. So when she brought something up, I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. Like I trust that. When she said, I know you're going to get confirmation on this, or I'm waiting for you to get confirmation, I was like, me too.
Where it at?
Yeah, like I trusted what she was saying, you know, like I never thought it was anything other than, okay, God's telling her to move on this. Let me wait for my green light, you know. And so then she texted me. Actually, it was the last day in February. It was my last day at my corporate job. And I was at the gym, or I was going to the gym, and I felt something heavy. Like I felt like I wasn't about to work out. I was like, I'm going to the gym for something else. And so I got there and we talked the entire time. Like she worked out. She was doing her cardio and I'm just standing there with my little water bottle. Didn't take a single sip. My big old water bottle, my jug. Didn't take a single sip. Didn't do nothing. I just stood there talking, and we was talking about God, talking about everything pretty much. And I felt heavy the whole day. I'm like, something is shifting and I don't know what it means. I don't know what that, what this feeling is. And then after that day when we talked, I was like, she's coming with me. I don't know where I'm going.
Right.
I don't know where I'm headed, but something is shifting. And it ain't just me, it's her too, whoever this stranger is.
That just reminded me of the note that I shared with you this week of the screenshot that I saved on 2/22, so February 22nd.
Yeah.
That literally said, God said we move in March.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And March 1st was the day that I confirmed,
yep.
Okay, let's get into that too, because I don't want y'all to think that we acted without confirmation.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was going to tell her.
Yeah, this is March 1st, so the day after the gym.
The day after it was revealed to me, I was like, okay, you tell her, and then we're going to be on the same page.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, I can't wait till he reveals it to you.
She texted me that. I can't wait till he reveals it to you.
I'm like, if you don't just tell me. And so when she said that, I thought she was talking about, I originally thought she was talking about something. No. I was talking about something that day. You said, would you just tell me already? I thought you were referring to the podcast, but you were actually talking about the conversation we were having.
Yeah.
In the text.
Yeah.
So then I sent you, I made a whole Canva little file, what the definition was, what was ironic about the two of us. Yep. So not even the logo, but just kind of like
Yep.
I sent all the receipts. All the receipts. I even sent the screenshots of them with the timestamp.
Yeah.
To show you exactly the time that I got the word.
Yep.
And she's like, oh, I'm so excited or something like that. Like, it wasn't even like I had to convince her. I didn't have to, it was literally all right, there's
no questions.
There's a green light.
I didn't even ask any questions. Like, what about this? What about this? I was like, period.
We're literally in a season where it's not signs anymore. It's a cue.
Yeah, when you move, you move. And at that time period, I was a heavy in prayer. Actually, I was fasting, remember?
Yes,
I was fasting
unintentionally, remember?
Yep, I was fasting. I was praying because, like I said, I felt a shift. And I'm like, I want to hear what's going on. I don't want to miss my mark on that one. Like, come on. And so I was praying about it. And then when she said it, I'm like, boom, that's it. Whatever. I don't even know. I didn't have no questions. I didn't have no concerns. I didn't have no, it was, let's go. And we started same day.
I'm talking I went on a conference trip. That Sunday I got back. We had one team meeting.
Yep, in my mama's kitchen.
In your mama's kitchen. One team meeting. We got all the episode titles, the drop dates.
Yep.
When we were going to do a photo shoot, obviously we know what happened, but we laid out a whole schedule.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah, and
we was already thinking about season 2.
Yeah,
within 2 days.
Yes,
one meeting, and I'm telling half that meeting, because you were sad, remember? We were just chopping it up for majority of that day.
Oh, yeah.
We met for probably 20 minutes and had all that down.
For sure, yeah. Literally. It wasn't long at all.
No.
And it was smooth sailing after that. It's been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
When we were recording this video, it was 3 weeks ago when we got that confirmation.
Yeah.
We both did. And then, we was in here renovating the whole studio space. We painted the walls. We did
COVID. Still made it happen.
Did get COVID. Went on a trip.
We
was living life, but we didn't stop. Second we got that confirmation.
And we didn't skip a beat.
No. We was like, let's go.
Let's go.
No questions asked. And here we are. We made it. Ooh, we made it.
Ooh!
We made it. That's crazy. That's crazy.
When we met, what season were you in?
Ooh. When we met, this was November.
Yeah.
I was in isolation season.
Your isolation.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would say it started, I don't even know when it started. Sometime last year. Honestly, even now, our days are so mixed up.
No,
I don't know what's going on half the time, or I know when my son needs to go to school and when I got to pick him up. And besides that, I'm like, maybe. But I was definitely in isolation. So I felt like I was so focused on working on me, working on Chelsea. And I was in a me season. I've never had a season of my life where I'm like, I'm going hard for me. I'm not focused on nobody else and how they feel. Strictly me and my baby, of course. But I was in that season and I felt like I was losing friends left and right. But not even in I'm about to cut them off and never talk to them again. It was more so I can't be distracted right now, And so anybody that had any type of energy, even the slightest bit different from me, I couldn't handle it right then. And I'm talking family, friends, best friends. I was very much by myself. And so even when I was going to the gym and stuff, I wasn't taking nobody, I was chilling by myself alone. And my weekends felt like weekdays because I didn't go out much. But it wasn't even in a depressed type of it was very much just isolation. Like I felt God really working on me during that time. And so when I was alone, which was often, I didn't feel like I was alone. I was working, like I was listening to podcasts, I was listening to music, I was in the Bible, studying the word, watching sermons. Like I was just like learn all the time, And then of course I met you, and that's why I was hella standoffish. Not standoffish. I talked to her. But yeah, we ain't saved the number for a little while. I ain't follow you on IG for a while. Now she pinned.
And I got a picture.
And she got a picture.
I need my own picture now.
Chill out.
I'm talking about the photo shoot. Like we got pictures now.
We do got pictures now.
I'm not just a gym girl.
That's true. We're best friends.
So the season that I was coming out of was a season where I was, a lot of people know, but you guys probably don't, a long faith journey where if God gave me a specific word, everything that could come against that word has happened. Literally. And God was literally testing me like, do you still want this? Are you still in this? And I had to prove to him and myself that I'm going to see it to fruition, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so with that season, my isolation season was right before that. So that's where I started seeing it's okay if you don't have the same vision as me, but I can't be distracted from this vision.
Exactly.
Because there's too many things on this line.
Yeah.
And it's not even what a lot of people would say it's about. It's absolutely nothing to do with that. It's actually deeper than that, but we'll get into that at a different point in time.
Yeah.
But I was coming out of a season where I went through isolation. Now I'm protecting my word, but now I'm standing on my word.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Weight on it.
10 toes down. 10 toes down. So I remember last March 2022, and we were talking about the significance of March.
Yeah.
Yeah. March 2022, God told me to release that vision and let him bring it back to me. And by doing that, I started saying, well, shoot, I could just do me.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which showed me afterwards that I was allowing that to distract me from the actual vision. So I got myself together in August. I was like, you know what? I'm going to commit 111 days. I'm really intentional with angel numbers, not in whatever way everybody wants to take it, but God confirms things through numbers with me. And I said 111 days, that means that I'm manifesting this vision. And so within those 111 days, I'm at Chelsea. Our paths crossed. We connected in a different way that I've ever experienced. And now we both are getting the word. Now we're both getting the word of acceleration. So y'all might be just getting this video, but we already about to be hitting our millions.
Woo!
So buckle up.
Millions.
Buckle up.
Baby, we're already in season 3.
Buckle up. We're already ready for season 3.
Man.
We already have our guest list for season 2.
Ooh.
We already know we traveling in season 2.
Period.
We're going to have events.
Yeah.
We're going to have panels.
Merch.
All that. All that.
Progressin, not perfect.
Progressin, not perfect.
Woo!
What does that mean to you?
That means God's still working on me, baby. Don't tempt me. No. That means I'm making progress. I'm gaining success, not even just by numbers or fame or nothing like that. I'm talking internally, in my spirit, to my core. I'm progressing, but I'm not perfect. I don't have it all together all the time. I don't want to show up as somebody that has it all together all the time. And if we're just talking on a spiritual way, I feel like this is going off the deep end, but I feel like I was raised in church, a Baptist church to be exact, and I felt like you had to have it all together all the time, and you need to hit certain marks to be labeled as perfect. You had to be perfect to have a relationship with God or to be seen as successful. And I guess that's why I love this so much, showing that I'm not perfect, but I am making progress, and I'm becoming the best version of myself. And that doesn't mean I'm perfect. That just means I'm the best me that I am and that I've ever been.
And I think it's so funny because I know you on a personal tip and you just sharing that too. But my experience with God even is similar, but also not similar. You know, I was not a believer, because I felt like, one, I didn't never see him, felt him, whatever. So I thought. We'll get into that in a different episode.
Man.
So I thought. But because of that, I didn't have accountability, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So progressing, not perfect to me. Now that I'm in this faith walk where I can hear God, I'm teaching people how to hear God, all the stuff he's helping me grow into the woman I'm becoming.
Yeah.
it means letting go of control. I'm progressing forward, and it's not perfect.
Yeah.
I don't have the control. When you release that, you're like, you don't. It's kind of like a lazy river. You progress forward, but you don't have to work because you floating.
Yeah,
you flowing. Ooh, whew,
Jesus, man.
But yeah,
oh man, that was a good one. That was good. Good job. And merch.
Yeah.
What is that?
She don't know what Usher's little clip is. Y'all know. But anyway, merch April 27th.
April 27th.
27th is about to be y'all's favorite day. Let's just say that.
Yeah. 27th is very significant.
Your favorite podcast dropping.
You better say favorite. Ooh!
Number 1 on all platforms.
Manifest.
And then we got some things coming for y'all on the 27th. So keep an eye on that.
Yes. I'm so excited.
We made it.
We made it. Stop. I got tears a little bit.
Lash off moment.
They're not going to come out, but they was there.
So let's get into this because I know she's going to try to clown me.
Always.
I am emotional. However, I prioritize my lashes. Yes. That felt good to get off my chest.
Yo, she will fight tears because she don't want to ruin her lashes. Or she will purposely not wear lashes because she knows she's finna cry.
It was the same week I got the confirmation about our podcast. And I remember I was like, bro, you know how I say lash off?
Yeah, lash off.
And she said, yeah, what? I sent her a picture of my lashes on the counter.
We be making each other cry all the daggone time, though.
All the
we'll be like, ooh, lash off moment, get ready. Like,
woo! And then, I'll be like, bro, I'm crying over this song. She'd be like, ooh, let me play it.
Yeah, because I know it's going to hit me the same. Like, we're so connected that I'm like, I know it's going to hit me. Just like when something hits me and I send it to her, I'm like, I know this is going to, or I can feel it when it's going to hit her and it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'll be showing me
stuff.
We
were just listening to the album.
That new album, bro.
Black?
Woo!
When I tell you, we got our little dinner. We were propped up in my car. Man. We had the lyrics up like we were watching our soaps.
Seriously. I said, run it back.
We said, hold on. Pause. Okay.
That album is so good.
And like we were able to be like, yo, that line was for you.
And that was for you.
And that's for both of us.
Period. Oh, that album was for us for sure.
Okay, it's on my heart to say this. So let's talk about godly relationships, godly friendships, right?
For sure.
Like, we obviously know this connection. We obviously know, like, bro, as soon as our paths crossed, all this stuff came out.
Yeah.
But, like, what a shift is it? That's weird.
What a shift it is.
What a shift it is to go from people that may, not even jealousy, I'm not going to go down that road because that's a whole rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But just like they don't understand the vision or the purpose or the drive to even because they're not connected to it.
Yeah.
And that's okay. We all have our own paces. We all have our own lessons. And some of us are here to help you discover that. Right. But then having a friend with understanding.
Yeah, it is different.
I don't have to describe to you what God is saying. You just already hear it.
Yes.
I don't have to convince you that you're hearing God. You can just hear it.
Yeah.
Like some things that I hear, and I'd be like, bro, I feel like this is about to happen. She'd be like, no, absolutely.
Yeah, I already got the confirmation. I already knew that. Whew. But what was it when I texted you? I was waiting for her to get confirmation on something. And I was like, it's coming. Don't worry about it. Like, text me when it get here. Like, I already know that it's coming.
Right.
You know, give it a couple hours. Just hit me up when it gets here. I think it was the live or something. I forget what it was. Something not that deep. Like going on TikTok live with me. And you was like, I ain't got that confirmation
like, yeah,
yet.
big fella ain't tell me that.
I'm like, bro, it'll come. You know, but stuff like that is like, yeah, being friends with somebody or having like a real friendship with somebody that has the same type of like faith as you, and it's like, and you putting your weight on it. You know what I'm saying? Like we see the vision so clearly, and that's in every aspect. That's not even just with the podcast. That's a huge part of it. But it's like I believe in your vision, you believe in my vision, we believe in our vision. Right. Let's rock.
And the crazy thing is, like, I want to emphasize this because I do want to emphasize that I'm coming from a background of not believing in God. Right?
Oh, for sure.
So, like, we're not going to go into that. But I'm coming from a background not believing in God. So even if you are maybe identifying this, that is okay. Yeah. Don't get turned off because we're talking about God. That's just what we call it. Yeah. You might call it the universe, whatever.
Irony.
We ain't going to something.
Oh!
Right?
Something told me. I felt something when I walked in the room.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, you know when you're in alignment because people around you have the same vision. Yeah. Not necessarily for the same projects, but they have an understanding where it's like, you want to do this. There's a reason you want to do this. I'm back it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's basically what we're experiencing. We're just putting a name on it.
Yeah.
You know, because I want to emphasize that, because godly relationships to us just means friends that, you know, they say friends that flock together. What is it? Birds of a feather flock together, right? And that could be negative or positive,
For sure.
But the thing is, if you always have a circle that's pouring into you,
Mm-hmm.
that values you, that they don't have to understand the vision or see it like you see it, but they have to trust you.
Yeah.
I trust that you're going to make moves that are best for you.
Exactly. Yeah. And not to mention, obviously the vision and seeing the vision and having faith in that is very important. But I feel like a number one thing for me in having a friendship where you know, walk in that faith just as much as me is you're pouring into your own self too. Like, and I think we talked about this before. It's like freeing, because I don't feel like you need me every 2 seconds. You know, like as much as I love pouring into everybody else, our friendship does not feel like a full-time job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like you're constantly like, even when you do ask for advice, because we definitely share advice back and forth, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, she's going crazy. Like, I have to stop everything that I'm doing. Like, she needs me. She knows to go to God. You know what I'm saying? Like, go, he holds you accountable. You go to him. Seek help from him.
Right.
I am not God.
And I just want to point out also, I think it's hilarious because, like, this is so taboo in culture. But, like, we'll have hours go by before we respond to each other. But we have an understanding, like, she going to get to me when she going to get to me.
Exactly, yeah.
Regardless. Like, it's just, I'm meant for us to have this talk right now because she's handling whatever the business is.
Right.
And I think, bruh, they don't have to text you every 5 minutes.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Sometimes.
It feels good, yes. But sometimes if I'm focused and you blowing me up, I'm like, bro, you annoying me right now.
Yeah.
You know, like we respect each other's space. Bro, we even know, like, yo, your energy feel off. What's going on?
Yes. So your spirit feels a little off. You good?
You missing your routine. What's going on?
She was at the gym the other day. She didn't even say hi or bye. I said, oh yeah, let me pray for her, baby, because I don't got time. No. Her spirit was off, right?
My spirit was in the gutter.
Yeah. And I felt it. Like, you didn't even need to tell me what you needed.
My love language is words of affirmation, bro. And she a writer.
Period.
So you were like, she showed up to the gym. We are exhausted, and she's still wearing our brand. I'm over here like, thank you for seeing me.
Yeah.
Because you understood, like, where I was even when I couldn't even put words to it. Because sometimes, like, you got to feed off of energy instead of expecting an explanation. Like, well, they ain't tell me they're going through something. Yeah. They're not going to. It's not always going to be about you. They're not thinking about you when they're in the pit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's such a huge thing. And that's a huge thing. So have grace for your friends that have depression.
Yes.
Have grace for your friends that may be a little off.
Absolutely.
Have grace for yourself.
Yeah. And realize everything ain't about you. That's something I really had to learn, because I got offended by everything somebody did to me. So the old version of myself, you know, the unhealed version of myself, I would have been offended. Like, dang, first of all, I would have been thinking, what did I do to her for her to not even say hi or bye to me? But for one, when you're aligned spiritually, God already told me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already felt it in me. I shouldn't even say God told me, because I feel like that's a little deep. Like, if you don't know how to hear God, I feel like that's a little intimidating.
Something told me.
Something told me, you know, like, I felt something in me to where it was like, my partner, she finna be down right now. You know what I'm saying? So when I went to the gym, first of all, I was already coming out of that whole, like, a couple days or whatever, where my energy was hella down. And she was picking me up. She was picking me up, you know, and she's like, we got it. And I'm like, okay, we got it. And we're so connected and aligned that it's like we go back and forth. So when I'm down, she's up. When she's up, I'm down, you know. So
but we have ups together.
We do have ups together, but I'm talking like real down, you know, like, but yeah, at that time I was just coming back up. And that morning I woke up and I'm like, ooh, my heart posture was completely different. And I'm like, she's about to be down.
She walked in with a pep in her step.
I did. I was like, what's up, y'all?
5 in the morning.
5 a.m. Not pep. I don't pep nothing at 5 a.m. No. I'll be walking in like, how are you?
She'd be like, let me get my cardio on first.
Yeah. After cardio, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't even speak to nobody before cardio. Yeah. Chad be trying to come up when I'm stretching, and I'm like, baby, I love you. But I'll talk to you after I walk. Anyways, what were we talking about? Look, we got little notes. We have to edit that out. No, we probably won't edit nothing out. Y'all gonna get the real, the raw, the pretty.
And y'all gonna get this level, but don't get used to the studio.
Ooh. That was like a hint at something, I feel like. That was a hint. Ooh.
Don't be like, ooh, I like your background. Don't get used to it. The address gonna be changed by the time.
Ooh!
Y'all figure it out.
She told you she'd be dropping gems now.
Listen. Manifesting, prophesying, all those.
Say that, Queen. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways,
So you have a random question? I feel like you be.
we didn't. Huh?
You know what?
What's the word?
What's the word?
What's the word? We skipped it.
Listen.
What's the word?
What's the word? Bruh.
Tell me.
Let's get into this.
Let's get into it.
It's March 25th.
I'm
going to go on and give y'all the timestamp. I can't see the time, to be honest. But
I
I'm
got
going to give you the
you.
date. All right.
10:20.
10:20. Dang, we've been here all day.
We've been here all day.
Anyway, on March 24th, Black dropped the album.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, we were here chopping it up.
Ooh.
What is that?
What's what? Oh, it's present?
There we go. March 24th, Black drops the album. We over here chopping it up till almost 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Literally, just chopping it up. Learning each other because we have no idea who's sitting next to us.
Complete stranger. No idea who she is. Please don't kill me. You gonna kill me? No, we good.
Are you gonna kill me?
I don't plan to.
Don't criminalize yourself.
Look, don't tell me
not you over here talking about a crime and I'm over here protecting you. So don't criminalize. We can edit it. But yeah, Black dropped his album.
Yes.
We got our little dinner. I think we started talking about this, but we got off tangent. We got our little dinner.
Canes.
The
Shout out Canes.
Raising Canes if you want to spot. Just kidding. It's not in our diet.
Ain't that the truth?
But sat in our lap, running the lyrics down.
Yep.
In my car.
Yes.
Like we watching soaps.
It was a vibe.
And when I say, we're like, ooh, he talking about this in our lives.
Yeah.
He talking about, that was for you.
Ooh,
that was me.
The whole thing was for us, honestly.
We went through the whole album.
Yeah.
We sat there and ate that for the whole album.
Yeah. And you know what? Just to talk about this real quick, because I feel like when you're in the right friendship, you can be 100% authentically yourself. And moments like that is what I feel like is confirmation for me in certain areas. Not that I need more confirmation, but it's just nice to have a friend where I can just be me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to sit in the car and listen to a freaking podcast, I can. You know what I'm saying?
I want to listen to the same song 3 times to hear the lyrics.
And over, run it back.
Run it back.
And I'll be sitting here like, run it back, baby, whatever you need.
Hold up, we started talking there. Let's run it back.
Run it back. No, but it's so nice to have that friendship where you can just be you and you're not worried about, oh, I shouldn't say this or I shouldn't do this or I shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm going to be me. What?
She be knowing when I got something on my brain, bro.
Well, you about to say
but
something.
You saying that, it makes me realize, like, and of course I'm about to lose it. You're talking about friendships, yada, yada, alignment.
Yeah, being authentically yourself in a friendship.
Being authentically yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means do the work. Please do the work, because we were not always these people.
Hell no.
I used to be a toxic individual.
I used to be
as recent as last year.
Yes. Last year. Yeah.
And it's when you learn who you are, when you heal those wounds that may have not been your fault.
Yeah.
They may have not been your fault, but it's your responsibility to heal from them.
Absolutely.
Talk to someone.
Absolutely.
Journal. Self-help books.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Do the work, yo. There's podcasts out there. There's videos out there. There's movies you can watch. Music. Everything that speaks to you.
Yeah.
You can find your medium.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't even find this alignment until you're true to who you are, because everything that you want, all these blessings you want, it's not about the hustle.
Yeah.
The hustle needs to be self-development. The hustle needs to be, I need to learn myself. Because at the end of the day, all my blessings are tied to who I'm becoming.
Yeah.
Or who I became.
Yeah.
In the process. Don't shortchange the process, bro. It sucks.
Yeah.
The process sucks.
So bad.
Does not feel good. At all.
And
let me put you on this game. There will always be something to try to deteriorate all your confidence in something. There will always be something that will literally try to discourage you from even chasing it.
Mm-hmm.
But once you acknowledge that there's always going to be that, you can call it for what it is.
Exactly.
If I know I'm supposed to make it to over there, something standing right here, oh, this is just a roadblock, a part of the process. Move around, pivot.
Yes.
Learn yourself.
Yes. Yes.
You can't, yes, people who don't know themselves can get blessed.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're not fulfilled.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and even when it comes to friendships and stuff like we were talking about, I wouldn't have been able to we wouldn't even be friends anyways if I hadn't gotten my own self together. Not only because I couldn't be a good friend to you, but I couldn't receive it.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like a lot of people miss, or that I missed personally in my journey for a while. I was confiding in other people.
Yeah.
You know, like I was seeking help, but I was seeking help from other people. People can't help me.
Especially if
People
they don't know themselves too.
Right. And then I don't know myself enough to know what I even need.
Yeah.
So even when if you showed up as yourself, who you are right now, to my old self, I wouldn't have been able to accept that, and you wouldn't have been able to love me properly, because first of all, I would have been offended by anything that you said, because I don't even understand your heart, and we're not aligned in that sense. So it's like you can't reach out to other people trying to get them to help you. You have to help yourself, you know. And especially when it comes to friendships, like I said, so many of us long for a friend, you know, because we feel like a friendship's going to help, and it definitely does. But it don't help me at all if I can't help myself.
Right, you gotta be friend to yourself first.
Period. I can't love you if I can't love me. I can't love anybody if I can't love myself.
And I remember we had a past conversation about friendships, and like, it's cool to be hype, party, and all this stuff, but at the end of the day, like, I have to, like, people don't realize when you do have that vision and that purpose, and you know, like, I am responsible. It's not even about a luxury. It is a responsibility. I am responsible to see this through because I know all the things that are coming with it. But if you just want to party all the time, I love you.
You do it.
But sometimes you need to have someone who can see you eye to eye. Because partying can distract me and make me be like, why am I even focused on that?
Absolutely.
When I could be doing this.
Absolutely.
And there's too much riding on it. Things that we don't even know is riding on it.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to the magnitude. So we talked about that friendship, and like, well, I don't want to say the term, but we did say like sideline friends. You know? And that's not to say like,
to be on the
I'm cutting you off. Like, I love your love. Thank you for that. And I will pour into you. But at the end of the day, it's okay for you not to feel like you understand my vision.
Yeah. That's okay.
But don't discourage me from it.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I might have to weigh the options.
Yeah. But I think that's important to note, too, because a lot of us feel like our close friends and our close family, they're going to be the main ones supporting us. And when they don't support us, and I shouldn't even say support, they're not going to understand, because my purpose ain't the same as your purpose. Therefore, my path is not about to be the same as your path. So it's like the people close to me, I feel like, they'd be like, well, I don't really quite understand this. And in my head, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do that because they're close to me and I know that they love me and I value their opinion so much that I'm no longer going to do what God's telling me to do or what I'm telling myself to do or what I want to do, you know, no matter what phase you're in. And that's not right. You know, just because they don't see your vision, don't make it
right.
You still got to go after what you want to go after or what God's telling you to go after.
Literally.
That's your assignment. Your assignment is your assignment.
Literally. I remember an individual in my life literally said, well, I just know that this isn't the case. I said, so would you rather me listen to what you were saying or what God said?
Exactly.
Well, obviously, you got to follow God. Okay, then your opinion, I'm sorry, but it's irrelevant.
And it ain't always fun.
No. I don't want to go through this process.
Hell
what do you mean?
We were talking about that the other day because I'm like, man, sometimes I just be in the shower and I be pissed. Like, you want me to sow how much seed? You want me to talk to who? You want me to respond to who? Like, you want me to respond nicely?
You want me to be consistent with this inconsistency?
Man. But I think that's what I didn't understand for a while is because when people talk about their purpose and their assignment and all these things or God telling them to do this, I thought it was peaches and cream, like, you know. And so when that steered me away for a while too, because when you see these people, these Christians,
you don't understand the lows.
Yeah, you don't understand, and you're like, why would this be happening? And it's like it's all a process. You just gotta trust the process. It's definitely not always fun, but to sit here and say we made it. After the longest 3 weeks of my freaking life, like when I'm talking, we're exhausted. I'm exhausted.
Man.
Exhausted, like physically, mentally, emotionally.
All over.
Even spiritually exhausted. I'm like, God, how many more signs you want to give me? Like, I'm tired. You know, like you giving me assignment after assignment after assignment. Like, bruh.
You said rest on the seventh day.
When's the
Why am I still working?
No, but for real, I think that's a misunderstanding between a lot of us, like feeling like it's easy. It's supposed to be easy. Once you walk in your purpose, you know, they say you find a job, that's your whatever, and you won't find it. What is it? Find a job you love and you never have to work a day in your life or something like that. Yeah, but it does. I mean, it's fulfilling, but it's still just as exhausting.
And we're doing this without a dime to our name from it.
Say that.
We're putting all this time in with I mean, like I said, the millions are coming. But at the end of the day, like, in this season right now, in the studio that don't get used to,
Yeah.
like, I'm tired.
Exhausted.
And we got to work out in the morning.
Yeah. And still stick to our schedule and still stick to our personal brands. You know, we both got a lot of stuff going on. And then we got relationships that we working on, still, you know, involved in friendships that we working on. Like, I have a child. Like, we got a lot going on. But when God says do this, we do this. You know, and when you see it so clearly, it's like you can't even run from it. Well, how am I gonna run from that?
Why do I want to go back?
Why would you ever? When I say I was so depressed and low and hated everything, I had no desire to even be here.
I literally, at this point, and this is just like proof in the pudding, honestly, but at this point of my life, I could say over these last 4 years, I would do that process all over. And I haven't even seen some of the things. Yet.
Yeah.
But like, I would do that. I promise you, I would do that process all over.
Absolutely.
I know that there's eyes watching me.
Yeah.
Watching how I move in faith. They're being inspired by my faith. I've seen healing in my family.
Yes.
Just from me saying yes to God, His plan, His way. Healing in my family.
Yeah. Ugh.
I ain't ever going back.
Absolutely not.
Never, ever. Never, ever. You don't know the song? Okay. But yeah, I'm never going back.
She always quoting some songs. Like, I listen to country, baby. Ooh. Soon as I get out here on the outskirts.
She swears she gonna make me love this song.
I wish I was riding past your house. But hold on. I feel it.
The spirit is coming over.
Okay. She's gonna love country soon.
I probably will not.
She's going to tolerate country.
I tolerate it now.
But not happily. I need the energy behind it.
Then that would make me love it. Nah. Now there's some country songs I get down to. I have like 3 on my
Speaking of, what's the word?
What's the word?
What song besides the Black Album?
Because
that's brand new. It's Since I Have a Lover. But what song have you had on repeat for like the past week? Have you had like a song on repeat for the past week or so? Or pod? What's your podcast?
I haven't watched many pods, so I can't really say that. And I'm gonna have to get back on that. But I would say this stuff. Now y'all know when my good sis Coco Jones.
Ooh.
Come on with that ICU.
Come on with it. Ooh, that's sexy.
That's a spiritual encounter in itself, bro. I'm talking about when I was driving to my mama's house. She lived 9 hours from me, and probably for a solid hour at that time.
On repeat.
On loop.
So you know every
driving to. I know most of the words.
Oh my gosh,
I studied.
And
now it's like big on TikTok.
Yeah, it is.
So now I'm over here like, yes, I can hear.
Ooh.
You know,
it's a sexy song.
That song, her voice.
Yeah.
The background vocal. Ooh. I don't even. And then the content is irrelevant. It's relevant.
There you go. And no podcast.
The
past like.
I haven't finished a podcast like in 2 weeks.
That for her, that's.
I usually watch at least like 4 or 5 a day.
Yeah, me too.
And I haven't. Like, I feel like because we had no time to prepare.
Yeah.
We had time to prepare. Like, everything fell into alignment how it was supposed to.
Yeah.
But, like, the running around and everything, like...
Say running around.
Literally.
We've been busy.
We did all this really in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was down
with COVID for a week.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, I just need to find a new group.
Yeah.
I will.
Oh,
During my gym, I usually, like, throw on something.
Yeah.
But I didn't finish anything.
And we relate to on that a lot. Like, we both listen to podcasts all the time. We both listen to music all the time. We share sermons back and forth.
We always say morning word at the
word.
Gym.
Yep. That's crazy. We got a good friendship. That's wild.
5 months.
5 months.
Get into alignment.
I've been on the Nice and Neat podcast.
Yeah, I like Duke.
That's been my...
See, I met them as... I met Duke and Chanel because I was going through this phase.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you manifest, you got to imagine it.
For sure.
And so I found... Like, I was, like, on YouTube looking at luxurious house. And I'm not saying nice house. I'm saying, like, why is this entire bathtub as big as my living room type thing?
Jeez.
Luxurious.
Yeah.
And so they popped up. They were house hunting together. Duke and Chanel. That's his girl. I don't know if they're engaged now or what. But then they were also into athletics. Well, not athletics, but training and stuff like that. I didn't really do that then. But anyway, I recognized Duke, and then I recognized the podcast, and then Omar and Candace, I think, is the other couple, and then I don't know the other guy's
Yeah, I don't know everybody's names. I just
charge it to my heart. Or don't charge it to my heart.
Yeah, I just be clicking but yeah, I've been on the Nice and Neat podcast like the past like week or so, and I keep replaying certain episodes, but I've realized that I know a hell of a lot about being a woman and how a woman feels, but I don't really know as much as I thought I did about a male and how he feels. And so that's what that podcast been showing me. I'm like, wait, what? I'll be over here texting my guy, whatever, like, hold on, how do you feel about this? Does this align with what he's talking about? Like, or even my brother, I text my dad, like, I'm like, what y'all think about this? Like, curious to know how a male's mind works. That's been so interesting to me lately.
You should pick up. Listen, I swear by this book, and I've been telling her to watch or read it.
Here she go.
Now I know y'all probably never heard of it, but let me put y'all on.
Maybe it's a pretty popular book. No,
not as popular as you would think. I think you're just hearing me say it all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Go ahead.
I read it. I'm on my third time reading it.
You have it? Just let me borrow it.
I don't have a hard copy anymore. I gave it away to someone. Okay. But basically, the premise is like how everyone has a masculine.
What's the book?
The Way of the Superior Man. The premise is like everybody has a masculine and feminine energy. Mm-hmm. When women are able to live in their soft era, as social media says, you're able to flow in your feminine energy. And they say feminine energy is love, right? Mm-hmm. Now, let's just unpack that, but we're not going to go too deep because I don't want to lose people. Yeah. If feminine energy is love, we are literally divine because God is love. Yeah.
Say that. Ooh, y'all heard that.
Ooh. Anyway, and then they say the masculine energy is more like productivity, mission-based, stuff like that. That's why they say like the masculine energy loves sports. I see both of us with both heavily, and everyone has it, but sometimes people lean more into one way. But I think as we grow in our spirituality and our spiritual walk and our spiritual relationship, we're able to live more in the love side than we are into the productivity. Obviously, we're productive because we're 2 weeks, literally.
Sure. Yeah.
But like, if you'll get to know us, on the level that we know us, but we're able to act in that soft era.
Yeah. I've been feeling a lot more soft lately. I've 100% been walking so much more in my feminine energy, and it feels so good. Yeah. And if anything, I've realized that's who I've always been. I've always surrounded myself in environments where I could not let that thrive.
Be guarded.
Yeah, I had to be guarded. I always had to be in defense mode, or I'm always standing up for myself. Yeah. You know, like, I don't feel like I have to stand up for myself anymore. Even if somebody acting crazy, I'm leaving. Yeah. I'm exiting the room. I don't even got time.
My energy is my peace is more important than your feelings
anything.
Right now.
Than anything. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, it feels good.
But I even got hip to the book because my little, put me on Nipsey Hussle. I wasn't really hip to him, but now I got him on my shirt. Right here.
Got him. And Kobe too.
And Kobe. And the word dedication, but we'll get into that. But basically, I gifted him the book, but I was like, hold up. Now, what do I look like gifting him a book that I never read? Yep. I got hip to it because Nipsey Hussle mentioned that Lauren London, who everybody loves. Lauren, you're going to be on our podcast.
100% my girl crush.
She going to be on our podcast.
Ooh, love her.
Same with you, B. Simone and Meg. I'm just saying. But okay. All right. But anyway, and that was the book that shifted Nipsey's perception to get closer to his spirit. His spirit. If Nipsey can get his spirit together and he was a whole crip, that means anybody. Period. Anybody. Everybody. You don't even have to call it your spirit. You don't. Just learn yourself.
I'm going to get the book, y'all.
I don't care if she gets it. I need her to read it.
Well, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read the book.
But I like, because we both have passions with like wanting to stand up for men, especially black men. No shade to any other man, but
shout out to black
men because, we're products of one.
For sure.
We love one.
For sure.
Like all this stuff, right? So with that being a common interest, I think it's funny that we do get drawn to like the Dear Future Wifey podcast.
Yeah, oh, love it.
The Nice and Neat podcast.
Yeah.
Because we crave to understand men.
Yep.
And not understand them as what they were shaped as. Yeah. But understand them as who you are as a person. Yeah. As a spirit. Yeah. As an entity of yourself.
For sure. Yeah.
It makes sense.
It's been interesting. It's fun. It is.
Y'all buckle up.
It's going to be a ride.
Man. I'm saying we already got visions of things not even related to the podcast, but related to the podcast. Yeah. I'm going to just give y'all a hint. Four square. And we ain't playing a game. We playing no games about Foursquare.
Ooh. All right, my random question.
Okay.
I got a random question for you.
She about to make me look goofy.
No, I'm not. No,
goofy.
I'm not. Could you be with a man who's a nasty eater? Like I'm talking sloppy eater, slurping his fingers, food dripping down his beard. Did you gulp? No, it looked like you took a gulp. Like, oh shit. Okay. Could you be with a man that's a nasty eater, messy eater?
I mean, the fact that if anyone's eating like that, I'm about to be like, yuck. But I feel like when you really with someone you fool with, you gonna look past certain things.
So you would look past.
I've been involved
with a man with a messy eater.
With a man who learned how to eat fast because he was in the military.
Okay, but fast and messy ain't the same.
It gets messy.
He messy?
It gets messy.
Oh, that's nasty.
I'm just saying. But I still stuck it out.
So you're fine with it?
Will I be grossed out? Yes, but I'll be fine with it.
You
treating me, pouring into me, everything you're supposed to be doing.
We wouldn't even get there yet because I would see you eat long before you pouring into me.
Not necessarily.
How you pouring into my whole soul before I even see this man chew a freaking chicken finger? I mean, maybe how deep y'all getting that quick?
You saw how fast we got deep before I saw you eat.
That's true.
We talked for a whole month before I saw you eat.
That's true, but that's different.
No, it's not. I always had distance in my relationships.
I couldn't be with a man that eat nasty. I'm sorry. I was thinking about that today with my chicken quesadilla.
On CT?
Yeah. She be trying to throw stuff in there. Y'all gonna know what we talking about one day.
Y'all pick up.
One day.
The ones that get it, get it. And the ones that don't. They won't.
You can't be in. All right, what's your random question? What you got for me? Sucky nah.
See, but you already told me your question before we started recording. I didn't know that we were going back. I didn't know I had that question.
I mean, just a random question. Just anything. It can be deep. It can be funny. It can be silly. It can be whatever you want it to be. You have to have tons of questions for me. We don't even know each other.
I don't. Tons of questions. What's your favorite ebook that you wrote?
Oh.
And why?
My favorite ebook that I've written?
Two-parter.
I wasn't ready for that one. My favorite ebook that I've written, I would say my first one. And you said why?
What's the name of the first one?
My first one is about self-care. It's a series, so a how-to guide on doing the self-work. And it basically is like an outline of my journey of hitting rock bottom and rediscovering myself, reinventing myself, figuring life out, and becoming a better version of myself that I can actually love and be proud of. So it's like a series, but number one, I would say would be my favorite, not even just because of the story or the self-help in there, but just thinking back on where I was in that moment, like I had just moved out of my house. I moved me and my son out, put all our stuff in storage, moved back in with my parents, which was very humbling to say the least. And I started writing, and I didn't have really I didn't know I was going to be a writer. I knew I liked to write.
Can we say that again?
I had no idea.
People told me I was writing books. I said, who's typing?
That's how I felt. And when I tell
what am I going to talk about?
I was at my mama's house, and I just moved back in, and I was outside. First of all, I never liked nature to begin with, and I found like this new love for nature. And so I was outside in the little canopy, and I just started writing, and then I just started releasing, and it just really never stopped after that. I'm like, 6, 7 deep now.
Right.
But yeah, I would say my first one just because of where I was at, and I was most proud of that one. Like, you really came out the gutter, and you made something of yourself. Like, you did something worthy of, people listening to.
Right.
And so I guess I would say I'm most proud of that one. But
see, I accidentally wrote my book.
On accident?
I accidentally wrote my book.
Hey, you accidentally wrote.
So I'm an educator, so I was coming up with a prompt for my students to respond to as an essay, like a reflective essay, because I like to make them think about themselves in a different light.
Yeah.
I don't want them to say, like, oh, because of this, I'm this. I want you to say who you are.
Period.
So I had a prompt, and I was really proud of it because I was like, ooh, I felt this one. Right? These kids in your
chest. Yes.
And so I called my grandma, and I was like, listen to this. And I read it to her. She said, can you do this for me? And I was like, what you mean, do it? You gonna write an essay? I was so confused. She's like, no, like, can you write questions for me to answer? And so in that moment, I was like, well, if she's asking me, my grandma, of all, then I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in it. So I just went to social media, hit up Facebook, like, yo, this is what I'm doing. I'll put out a prompt every week. Yeah. And whoever wants to tap in, let me know, and I'll make sure you're on the list. And I was like, one by one, copying and pasting these questions to these people.
I didn't think it was going to be that.
No, and it reached like 100 people within my network, but they were sharing it with people. So I really don't know how many lives it touched. Right. And then I got a full-time job, so it kind of hindered my weekly updates, and I was falling behind because the numbers were growing faster. And so I sat on that for like 2 years. I have a document with all the questions. And I was like, man, I could be monetizing off of this, honestly. And it is net, like, obviously a bag is cool. And people think that that's going to change your life. I prioritize learning me because I know whatever's for me is going to come to me. Regardless.
Y'all heard that.
Whatever is for me, I cannot miss.
Ooh!
So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to serve.
Exactly.
I love serving. I love pouring. Even if I'm having the lowest day, if I pour into someone, I'm like, okay, I feel better.
Yeah, it's fulfilling.
Yeah. So I was like, you know how many lives can access this on the internet if I just promote it? Yeah. And promotion's not easy. I suck at it.
Especially your writing.
Yeah. It's very vulnerable because each prompt was a lesson that I got out of a low season of life. Yeah. Each week was literally like, okay, how else did I get to where I am right now? Okay, how can I put that in a way that someone can receive it and reflect on it? Yeah. So I literally have, I remember I think it's week 6, it's called Finding the Diamond in the Rough. And it's literally just, I want you to think of the hardest moment that you've experienced. Right? And these are like, and people are like, these questions are deep, but I'm understanding of it. I have to understand it. So it was like, find the diamond in the rough. I want you to describe the emotions you felt, what were the energies around you, etc. Describe it in full detail. Yeah. But I want you to say, what did you gain out of that? Wow. Was it your strength? Did you feel resilient? Did you lose relationships you're supposed to lose? Like stuff like that. And these are all lessons that I learned over years. I condensed it to a workbook.
Yeah. Look, I'm sitting here really trying to think about my own answers.
Exactly. But like when there was ever a heavy week, the next week would be like, okay, now define what self-love means to you. Yeah. Because you have to have that balance.
For sure.
Or else you're depressed. Because you over here like, I'm reliving all this stuff.
Right? Which is the freeing part of it all, though. That's how you heal.
Going back and reading it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Man. Going back and reading it. And that's what I always like, too, because I have, like, questions to help you digest what you discussed in that week.
Yeah. And what's the workbook?
It's called Fueling the Heart. Okay. It's on Amazon.
Ooh, you heard that. It's on Amazon.
Nika Commodore.
Nika Commodore. Plug. All right. I think that's a wrap for episode 1. What do you think? Yeah. We're dropping episodes every
Monday.
Period. Y'all see how okay. We're dropping episodes every Monday. Yeah. You guys can follow me on social media all over every platform. At All Things See Win. All Things See Win. Where can they follow you?
Nika J CO MM ODORE.
Commodore.
NIKA J Commodore.
Nika J Commodore. Across all platforms?
All platforms.
All platforms. And then you can follow us together, our friendship, at The Ironic Pod across all platforms.
All platforms.
YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify.
Yeah. We're working on Apple.
Apple Music trying to be a hater. That's a wrap, y'all.